Indiana Fever announced today that guards Sydney Colson and Ari McDonald both will miss the remainder of the 2024-25 season. Damn.
Announced, it's breaking news that 2 point guards, for the Indiana Fever, both Sydney Colson
left ACL tear, wow, and Ari McDonald, broken bone in right foot.
Sid Colson, it did not look like an ACL tear.
Sydney Colson tore her left ACL, and Ari McDonald broke a bone in her right foot. Both will miss the rest of the season.
Ari's hurt. We don't have a point guard. Sid Colson's probably done for the season.
But it's now or never for the Fever. They don't need Chloe Bibby anymore. They need a point guard more than they need a stretch four.
Announced, it's breaking news that 2 point guards, for the Indiana Fever, both Sydney Colson.
Indiana Fever announced today that guards Sydney Colson and Ari McDonald both will miss the remainder of the 2024-25 season. Damn.
The Fever now have injuries to all their point guards. The Indiana Fever just announced both Sydney Colson and Ari McDonald are out for the year. Colson's season is over, Ari is hurt, and there's no point guard left.
Ari's hurt. We don't have a point guard. Sid Colson's probably done for the season.
Sydney Colson left ACL tear, wow, and Ari McDonald, broken bone in right foot.
It's now or never. The Fever need a point guard more than anything else. Breaking news. Both point guards for the Indiana Fever are done for the season.
Will both miss the remainder of the season?
Indiana Fever announced today that guards Sydney Colson and Ari McDonald both will miss the remainder of the 2024-25 season. Damn.
Sydney Colson has a torn ACL in her left knee, and Ari McDonald has a broken bone in her right foot. Both are officially out for the rest of the season after getting hurt in the game against Phoenix. This is a huge loss for the Fever because Colson was already replacing another injured starting point guard, and McDonald was a big part of their guard lineup. Losing 2 skilled players in the same role is a big hit to their playoff chances.
Announced, it's breaking news that 2 point guards, for the Indiana Fever, both Sydney Colson.
Ari's hurt. We don't have a point guard. Sid Colson's probably done for the season.
But it's now or never for the Fever. They don't need Chloe Bibby anymore. They need a point guard more than they need a stretch four.
Fans are already talking about what the Fever should do next, with some saying they should sign a new guard, but the salary cap could be a problem. The injury news just came out, shocking Fever fans everywhere. Now the big question is, will Caitlin Clark have to come back sooner than planned to save the season?
Sydney Colson left ACL tear, wow. At her age, here's a chance this was it. And Ari McDonald, broken bone in right foot, will both miss the remainder of the season after suffering injuries during our game in Phoenix on Thursday.
With Colson and McDonald both sidelined, the Fever now have no true point guards.
We had everybody coming at the one person who has brought all this attention, all of this media, all of this, everything they claim they wanted. The one person who was responsible for bringing it in, they hate her. They hate her. They take shots at her. They come at her nonstop. It is what it is. And at this point, I don't even know what really can be done.
Colson's injury might even end her career because of her age.
Well, sign a guard or whatever. Well, there's salary cap implications out there too right now. I even saw somebody say we might have to waive Chloe Bibby to sign a point guard. So a lot of reaction. My heart breaks for Sydney and Ari McDonald. Do not rush Caitlin Clark back, though. She's going to have to play. I mean, I don't know what else they do.
And McDonald's injury is bad enough to keep her out all year. That leaves Indiana with almost no real ball handlers, meaning players like Kelsey Mitchell or even Aaliyah Boston might have to run the offense.
Sid Colson, it did not look like an ACL tear. It did not look like an ACL tear when it happened. I was convinced. I was like Sid Colson might not play professional basketball again. That's a bad one. Ari was kind of limping around. She played a little bit on it. The Fever have injuries to all their point guards. Kelsey Mitchell can dribble or Sophie Cunningham can play make. Aaliyah Boston go play point guard.
The situation is bad. The roster is thin, and the coach's unwillingness to use certain bench players makes it worse. Fans and analysts agree. Without a big change, the Fever's playoff hopes are over. Caitlin Clark's return isn't just a nice boost anymore, it's a must.
It is not possible for the Indiana Fever to go out with more than 10 players rested here. They have 2 rest of season injuries on guaranteed contracts. They can't go out with more than 10 players rested. And the problem is the coach doesn't like playing 3 other players. Even with Caitlin Clark health, they go 70. They go 70 without Caitlin, with Caitlin healthy. And that's when Caitlin's healthy, they lose the hardship player. This team does not have the depth. More so than ever, they have to figure out something to do.
The Fever confirmed that both Coulson and McDonald will miss the 2024 season. Coulson tore her ACL in the first quarter, and McDonald broke her foot in the fourth quarter of the same game.
Indiana Fever provide updates on Sid Coulson and Ari McDonald. The Indiana Fever announced today that guards Sydney Coulson and Ari McDonald both will miss the remainder of the 2024-25 season. Damn, they done for the season, dog. The remainder of the 2024 season after injuries during the teams game last night. Coulson sustained an anterior cruciate ligament ACL tear. Sydney into her ACL in her left knee during the first quarter of the game, while Ari McDonald suffered a broken bone in her right foot during the fourth quarter. My goodness, guys.
This leaves the Fever in the same trouble they faced earlier in the season when several guards were out. With the playoffs coming, the timing couldn't be worse.
This is bad. Now we got to see who's available again at the point guard position. Again, we got to go through this again, y'all. This looked very familiar to the month of June.
Losing these two means the team may have to look at hardship signings or other roster moves. And with Caitlin Clark still out, talk of her early return is only growing louder.
Caitlin has to return at this point. They've been waiting till mid-August, which is basically now. Yeah, you're looking at, if they were targeting the 12th, you're literally looking at 3 days earlier.
Coulson is out for the year. McDonald is hurt too, and Indiana has no point guard left.
Caitlin Clark, apparently she's already doing full court sprinting. If Caitlin Clark was out for the season, she wouldn't be trying to rehab an injury in Russia. If Caitlin Clark was out for the season, she would be sitting out right now for a month.
Probably better than Steph Curry.
Bro, she's better than Steph Curry. She is.
Sophie Cunningham can score, but isn't a natural playmaker, and the other guards either play out of position or can't run the offense well.
Ari's hurt. We don't have a point guard. Sid Coulson's probably done for the season. Sid Coulson either tore her MCL or tore her meniscus. She's hurt. We don't have a point guard. We don't have a point guard. Sophie Cunningham is not a point guard. We saw Sophie was fantastic today, but we saw her when she tried to play point guard.
With no floor leader, the Fever might cut Chloe Bibby to open a spot for a hardship signing. That move could happen as soon as tomorrow. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is still out, but the crisis is pushing the team to bring her back earlier than expected.
We waited a week too long. Sevi Uzun just got signed by the Sky. The best signed Carly Samuelson, who's injured.
I even saw somebody say we might have to waive Chloe Bibby to sign a point guard. So a lot of reaction. My heart breaks for Sydney and Ari McDonald. Do not rush Caitlin Clark back, though. She's going to have to play. I mean, I don't know what else they do.
With both McDonald and Coulson hurt, the Fever's roster numbers are a mess. If McDonald is officially out, they can get a hardship spot. But with only 10 healthy players, every decision matters. The problem is bigger than just finding a new player. There aren't many point guards available, and most experienced ones are already on other teams.
Really, really bad. Ari McDonald was giving us production. Ari McDonald was doing what she had to do to get us up to speed with everything. With Caitlin going out, Sydney Coulson, Ari McDonald out for the season, bro. This is not good, guys, at all. Where's we gonna start?
Coach Stephanie White clearly doesn't trust Chloe Bibby, who's barely played since signing her rest of season deal. That makes Bibby the most likely to be cut if they bring in a guard. The hard part is finding someone who can handle the pressure of playoff basketball now that the trade deadline is over.
Now, Stephanie White said it looked like a knee injury for Sydney Coulson and the right foot for Ari McDonald. So Ari is hurt. on our status. We'll get more evaluation when they get home. So Ari McDonald more than likely ain't gonna play. And I gotta be the one to tell you, look like the Indiana Fever could be signing another player. Basically, another hardship player could be on the way.
To sign a guard, the Fever will have to let go of someone they already have. And that's complicated by contracts, loyalty, and performance. Bree Turner hasn't done much this season, but seems untouchable. Fans joke that she has diplomatic immunity with the team. That leaves Chloe Bibby as the most likely cut.
We can't even sign Grace Berger. Chloe Bibby's about to get waived. We signed her a week ago to a rest of season contract. She's about to get waived.
Even though she was just signed, fans are upset that the front office locked in contracts without thinking about injury risks. Now, with 2 point guards gone, the bad planning is obvious. Caitlin Clark's absence is no longer an excuse. This team needs a real floor leader now, or the season could fall apart.
She's about to get waived. We need to free up a roster spot for a point guard. So somebody has to be waived. We have a minimum contract. We have a rest of the season minimum contract. Or a bunch of 7 days if we can give out. But we jumped the gun by giving Chloe Bibby a rest of the season contract just for Steph White to stop playing her.
Another problem is toughness. Other teams push the Fever around on the court because, besides Sophie Cunningham, no one really fights back. This weakness shows in their record and how teams play against them. Critics say the Fever must bring in not only a point guard, but also someone with grit. Without that, even Caitlin Clark's return may not be enough to change things before the playoffs. The choices made this week will decide if the Fever crawl into the playoffs or completely fall apart.
It's not a common thing for anyone other than Sophie Cunningham. Like, the team is soft, man. The team is so soft. And it's just something that I feel like people are taking advantage of the Fever. And everything about this team's soft. They're soft on the court. They're soft in the front office. They're just soft. They are gonna get... Teams have no problem shit-talking them. Teams have no problem trying to beat this team up. Because they know the only player that's going to stand up to them is Sophie Cunningham.
Losing Coulson and McDonald doesn't just hurt the guard lineup. It changes how other teams will play against the Fever. Without a steady ball handler, opponents can press full court, cause turnovers, and ruin Indiana's offense. Since the coach doesn't trust some of the bench players, other teams can target the smaller rotation and wear them down over 4 quarters. Even if Caitlin Clark comes back, she'll walk into an offense that's lost its flow, making her return harder. The next few games could decide whether Indiana makes the playoffs or drops out.
Fever lose Sydney Coulson and Ari McDonald for the rest of the season. Our backup point guard's hurt, and now our backup's backup is hurt as well. This is absolutely terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Indiana Fever point guards Sydney Coulson and Ari McDonald will both miss the remainder of the 2025 season.
Their recent 5-game win streak now feels far away. That run moved them out of lottery range, but didn't secure them a safe playoff spot, leaving them in a risky middle area. If Caitlin Clark comes back too soon and the team still loses, they could make her injury worse. If they keep her out, they might miss the playoffs completely. It's a high-risk choice. Push now and hope to get past the first round, or play it safe and risk missing the postseason.
It is what it is. Like, it's getting very close to just writing off the Fever season. Thank God they had that 5-game win streak. Because, like, the Indiana Fever, look, the Indiana 20 games makes the playoffs. But if the Valks start, like, and the Sparks are pushing 500, I don't see how the Fever end the season 500. That's just my opinion. Because, yes, Caitlin might come back, but, like, the earliest Caitlin comes back is when they play the Lynx 3 out of 5 games.
With the trade deadline over, there aren't many options left. Some names being mentioned, like Kennedy Carter, bring both good and bad. Carter can score and defend, but adding her in the middle of a season with chemistry and injury problems could be risky.
That's a couple of folks right there on the Carter train. Bruh, if y'all don't sign Kennedy and stop playing, she's an elite bucket and a heck of a defender. You know, I didn't even think about her on the defensive end.
2 of the Fever's most important players are gone for the year. What happens now is anyone's guess. Without Coulson and McDonald, this team faces its hardest challenge yet.
2 of our most valuable pieces are now gone for the season.
Hopefully we see Coulson on a court again if she wants to, and hopefully, look, Ari's going to be fine.
The playoff dream isn't dead, but it's barely alive. The pressure is on, and all eyes are on Caitlin Clark.
And if Caitlin doesn't come back, we're even more fucked. We don't stand a chance.
Indiana Fever provide updates on Sid Coulson and Ari McDonald.
Sydney Coulson, left ACL tear, wow. And Ari McDonald, broken bone in right foot, will both miss the remainder of the season.
Someone needs to step up, or the season will be lost. Will Caitlin return in time to save the Fever?
And that's why you just can't care. You just have to be you. You have to be you.
Yep.
And that's why I am.
Have you felt like, at least on social, the amount that people care has significantly grown since, like, the Caitlin, Angel Reese emergent, like from your first 2 years to like the last 2 years? Like, you feel like there's a lot more discourse online, or does it feel the same?
God,
Okay.
because you have elementary boys, you have high schoolers, college pros, people who are in their 80s, like all ages of men and women caring about it. And I think that is so much fun.
This is your star. This is the face of your franchise, the face of your team.
Probably better than Steph Curry. Bro, she's better than Steph Curry. She's mine. She is.
Caitlin Clark, apparently she's already doing full court sprinting. If Caitlin Clark was out for the season, she wouldn't be trying to rehab an injury in Russia. If Caitlin Clark was out for the season, she would be sitting out right now for a month.
Now, of course, we don't know what the future of Caitlin Clark is going to look like. That is just pure and utter, speculation on my part. But let's say the Fever do decide to sideline Caitlin Clark and the Fever continue. Obviously, they're not going to win every single game with the rest of their schedule, but if they continue to find ways to win games and the Fever make a playoff push, now I don't think that they can win a championship without Caitlin Clark. Again, prove me wrong, because my goodness, it looks like they could be.